Reasons you could be denied boarding on a flight: from your clothes to health. Being denied boarding on a flight can be a frustrating situation. After all, you've paid for your ticket, traveled through the airport and arrived at the gate, so it can feel like falling at the last hurdle. Unfortunately, there are plenty of reasons why you could be denied boarding, from health issues or incorrect travel documents, to things you may not even consider, like the outfit you're wearing. In most cases you won't be entitled to compensation unless it's because the airline has overbooked, more on that below, so it could leave you out of pocket. To give you a helping hand, we take a look at some of the reasons why you could be denied boarding. Your clothes. You may not think your outfit plays a role, but one mom was recently booted off a flight for wearing a low-cut top. Now, before you go grabbing your Sunday best, it's worth noting that airlines don't have official rules on what to wear. Avoid items that could be deemed offensive, such as clothes with slogans featuring swear words, and check the local customs at your destination in case they have rules on clothing. Alcohol. That pre-flight pint might seem tempting, but if you show up at the gate inebriated, the cabin crew reserve the right to stop you from boarding, especially if they think you will be disruptive. Best to leave the pint alone, or if you really do fancy a drink, make sure to drink in moderation. Overbooked flight. It's incredibly annoying, but it happens. Airlines book more passengers onto a flight than they have seats in case of no-shows, but everyone turns up. Suddenly there are more passengers than seats, meaning some people won't get on. Airlines then have to ask for volunteers to give up their seat. In this case, you can negotiate compensation with the airline. They often offer cash or vouchers. Volunteers are entitled to an alternative flight or a refund. If you don't volunteer but you're still bumped off the flight, you are entitled to compensation, as long as you checked in for your flight on time. The airline still has to offer you an alternative flight or a full refund. You can find out more about your rights on the Civil Aviation Authority website. Your health. If you're unwell and due to fly, then you may want to head to the doctors first and get a medical note saying you are fit to travel. If the cabin crew or airport staff think you're too ill to travel, they reserve the right to deny you boarding, especially if they believe you could infect other passengers, be putting yourself at risk during the journey, or bring an illness over to your destination. If you've got the sniffles, you should be fine, but if unsure, a doctor's note will help, although there have been cases where airlines have still refused passengers. It's also worth checking your travel insurance policy to see if you're covered. Your travel documents. It sounds obvious, but make sure all of your travel documents are up to date. If you're traveling somewhere which requires specific injections, bring proof with you that you have had these. If your documents aren't in order, the airline reserves the right to deny you from boarding, and you won't be entitled to any compensation.